What's up, guys? Rico here. Welcome back to Chibind Brothers. Today we're going to be talking about Lucid, and I'm going to be talking about a very important catalyst, especially when it comes to EV. This catalyst is really important because it's something that we've seen in Tesla and something that we've seen in Neo or Xpeng or any other EV companies. This is like the first metric that everybody look at, even when there used to be Nikola. But again, it's really important because it's like the first metric that everybody looks at. It's like that's the point that everyone, or at least investors, look at and try to see if they can start building trust from it. And that catalyst is deliveries numbers. Delivery numbers are like the most important thing, at least right now, especially when it comes to how the stock is going to be performing going forward. It's like it's built on what the company says or how much they're going to be delivering. We all know every single time, like a company like Tesla, when they've been beating deliveries, and we all see how the stock itself performs. So when you look at that and you look at companies like Neo, if you go way back, it used to be like $2 and now it's already like 10x, and we can see already how they've been doing on that. So we're going to be talking about Lucid, and I want to show you exactly what they have promised back in July of 2021, that were the numbers that they projected to do in 2021, and what they're projecting to do in 2022. But these ones that they have to do, basically this quarter that's coming up, or at least the end of this quarter for 2021, this year, how many they projected, or at least they said they were going to do. It's going to be a very important metric, and we all know that not only 2022 but the years that are going to come are going to be big for EV. We all know that. So these are the things that you don't want to miss out, and that's why the reason I have this chart here is because I'm going to be talking technicals. I'm going to talk about these rumors that are going on around. We're gonna talk about it, but I'm always going to show you, because this is the stock market, so we're gonna talk about the upside and also the downside of it. But without further ado, let's just jump right into it. So there is something really important that I wanted to show you here. It's from Lucid Nair. Shout out to Lucid Nair. It's Twitter. If you guys can, go ahead and follow him. He posts really good thing, especially when it comes to Lucid. So there is this rumor that's been going on. I'm pretty sure a lot of you have seen it already, but I just kind of wanted to reiterate before I go back to the chart and show you exactly what I think, as far as my personal opinion, not financial advice. So there's this picture right here. But before we get to this picture right here, I want to show you this. This is what Lucid said before. In total, right here, Lucid said it plans to deliver 520 customer configured Lucid Air Dream Edition, followed by production of lower price models. Lucid told investors in July that it expects to produce 20,000 Lucid Air sedan in 2022, generating more than $2.2 billion in revenue. But this is the most important thing. This is the number that we need to look at, 520. So they promised back in July that this year they will be able to basically deliver 520 vehicles. This is a very important number. So we are all going to be looking at what the delivery numbers are going to be. Are they going to be able to deliver enough, or even beat this expectation, which is what's going to bring us to the picture I showed you guys earlier. And the projection for 2022 is 20,000. So you can see already the difference between for this year and next year. It's huge, which means the production is going to be ramping up. But before we believe that they're going to be able to do 20,000 in 2022, they have to make sure they don't broke our trust when it comes to these first numbers, because we know what happened with Nikola. Nikola said a lot of things, but they didn't even have a model. Just saying, a bunch of computer generating, I don't know, cars that even my son can literally design one. You know what I mean? But anyway, this is we're gonna be looking at, and if Lucid can do this, it's gonna build so much trust that it will make all of us not only believe, but feel like this is worth it, and they might actually be able to reach the 20,000 next year or even beat it. So without further ado, let's just jump into this picture. This picture was taken And this is a VIN number. But one thing that I want to say, I cannot confirm that this is a Lucid, because as we can see, literally, this picture is just so somebody taking a VIN number, and it looks like it literally in front of the car. It could be any car, right? But this VIN number supposedly is from one of the Lucid cars, right? So supposedly, if it is for one of the Lucid cars, and according to this, if you look, I wanted to pay attention to the last 4 digits. The last 4 digits says 1,300. Let me actually try and see if we can zoom in here. 1,385. All right. But now I'm going to move. I will keep that in mind. I'm going to move to this one over here. This is apparently how you're supposed to read the Lucid VIN number structure. Again, allegedly, because we don't really know, because anybody can literally generate any document they wanted to make it to make it look like, or at least to prove their point. But at least I want to kind of talk about this rumor and tell you why this is coming up and why everybody's thinking Lucid is actually on the way to but double literally what they said they were going to do in 2021. So here, if you look, the last 4 digits right here, if you see right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way, it says they are sequential numbers. So if we have to read this VIN number here saying this is the sequential numbers, and if we go back to this picture, we have, it's actually 5 because there's a 0 in front of it, and then 1, 3, 8, 5. And if we come here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you look, there's 0, and then this would be 1, 3, 8, and 5. So if these are sequential numbers the way they've been produced, if this is true, then he will be 1,385, or this one, this specific picture, if this is a Lucid, it will be 1,385 vehicles that's pretty much ready. So which means it's more than double this number. If it's more than double this numbers, guys, we all know what happens to the stock when we beat expectations, and especially doubling more than what they said they were going to do, which means in the eyes of many investors that Lucid could be able to kill, like literally destroy the 20,000 projections for next year. That means they could even deliver up to 40,000 if, of course, if we have to do a 1-to-1 ratio compared to what's happening, or at least what we allegedly think is happening with Lucid. So this is big time. One thing is, remember I said earlier that a company like NIO before, it used to be $2. Guys, back in 2017, NIO was $2. These companies like Lucid, if they do what they say they're going to do, it's going to be big time dollars, because if NIO ended up more than 10x, we know what Tesla did. I don't know if it's 100x by now, but still, we know where Tesla is at. And Lucid, remember, it's an American company, American made, and they actually have a product. Not like Nikola. Sorry, I keep throwing shade, but we know what happened. They have a product and they actually are delivering. Now we're just trying to figure out if they're going to do what they say they're going to do. And if they do more than what they say they were going to do, then more and more trust. And it's going to make me, and I'm pretty sure a lot of investors want to put their money into it because, well, they're doing good. So if we look at the way EV not only works, but the way EV has been going crazy, and that the years that are coming are going to be literally the years of EV. Even when you look at government, like trying to put money into, going green, and EV is going to play a bigger role, I wouldn't be surprised seeing NIO in the next few years. I mean, not NIO, I mean Lucid, sorry, more than 10x. It's not impossible, guys. We've seen it before. This is not, I'm not saying this because I want to hype you up or anything. I'm just saying, like, It's not impossible to see Lucid 10x in the next few years down the road, 4 years. It's not impossible. And yes, of course, when you do the fundamental analysis, you would realize that, okay, yeah, maybe it's 10x is probably a little too much. But we also know, just like Tesla today, people are saying it's overvalued. But at the end of the day, we look at the profit also. How much money it can make you. You can yell all over the places and say, well, this is probably, it's too much. It's going to be overvalued. But if the stocks perform pretty well, it means people love it. And people love it. You don't want to miss it. So you don't want to be the one that's going to be crying when everything is going up and then you have to buy too much or too high. So going back to the technicals, just real quick, this is a very critical level, as I'm showing you right here. We are basically kind of on a, it's support level we've seen here before. And I mean, it was used to be a resistance. Here we go. The support right here. We've been here for a little while. But I also want to mention something very important that we've seen. The overall stock market's been selling off. And we know why. We're inflation. I always talk about this, government, blah, blah, blah. And it's a bunch of different things that are going on. And COVID, whatever it is. And we know that it's possible that Lucid could push back. Literally, it could push in the next few days. But does it matter in the long run? It doesn't really matter that much in the long run to feel like, oh, it's selling off, blah, blah, blah. But what's the most important is you're supposed to be greedy when everybody else is fearful. So if it sells off even more, that's a great opportunity to even buy more. So what I would expect that if we continue with this sell-off, there is some major areas as right here. Actually, no, it's right somewhere around there. This is a major level because we've seen it, how it happened, over here, how many times this has been a pretty strong resistance. So this is a very strong resistance that we're coming up, even though we already broken below the, the blue line, which is the 50 moving average. And it looks like we're heading down to the 200 moving average, but we're not there just yet because we're still at this support level. We can it can happen. We can break it, and we might actually go down somewhere around $30. It's possible that we might actually still going down with what's happening within the overall market, and especially if Lucid actually misses out and this ended up being this crazy rumor that just happened and everybody was just going crazy all about it, and it's not actually the real truth. But if it is, but in the long run, even if it pulls back, it's a great opportunity to buy more. So I just wanted to mention that. And I wanted to tell you that, yeah, of course, you should expect Lucid to run up if these numbers right here are true. The 1,300, almost 1,400 deliveries. If they're true, you should expect it to run up, back to these levels of 58, 60, or even probably break out the 65. It's possible that it could happen. But I'm looking at the bigger picture down the road, that I'm not only looking about what it's going to do in the short term, I'm looking about what it's going to do moving forward. And I'm thinking that if they can do what they promised to do, down the road, it's going to be big time. And it's not impossible for Lucid to 10x. So that's pretty much it. Please don't forget to sign up. If you would like to trade in the stock market, sign up using the link in the description below. Webull right now is running a pretty good deal. You will get up to 6 free stocks valued all the way up to almost $1,200, I think $1,500, and one of them would actually be an Apple stock. So sign up, at least make a deposit after you sign up with Webull, some kind of monetary, and we both going to get 6 free stocks, and there's only 3 days left, so you gotta act pretty quickly. Also, another thing is we have a Patreon. If you guys like what we do and you would like to support us, there is a link in the description below that will take you to our Patreon. There are different tiers, and you can pretty much choose what you think you could be able to help us, or at least support us in what we do and bringing you all these research and this content that we put out for you guys. So thank you again, guys. As for me, as always, I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.